So, on Monday, we talked about substitution. On yesterday, you should have watched the special cases video. It was quick. I think I kept it under 7 minutes. So it was a quick video about the special cases. And then today, now we're going to hit up elimination. So again, just like with substitution, this is stuff that you've seen before. Introduced it in Algebra 1, expanded on it in Algebra 2, expanded on it in geometry, really expanded on it in Algebra 3. And so we're seeing it again here for a fourth time. So let's see how much you remember from before. Solve this one solve this system using elimination. Okay, so let's try that. Solve by elimination, please. All right, so let's go over the strategery that we have for solving by elimination. Okay? It's going to be some of the same steps that we had when solving with substitution, okay? But there's going to be a few that are different. Okay? So the first step that we have to do is you want to line up the equations vertically. So you want your x's to be in a column. You want your y's to be in a column, your equal signs to be in a column, and your numbers to be in a column, so that everything is vertical with it all. So basically, you would take 8x plus 2y equals 4, and then right underneath it, you would write negative 2x plus 3y equals 13. We want to line things up vertically, not horizontally. Okay? So that's first. Second step, this is that elimination step. What we're going to do is we're going to look for coefficients that are opposites. And we're going to manipulate one or both of the equations to get it that way. So we want the coefficients on the two x terms or the two y terms. We want them to be the same number, just one positive and one negative. Okay? So if this were the case here, I would say we could multiply this second equation here by 4. We multiply that whole equation by 4. And that would give me 8x plus 2y equals 4 for my first one. And my second equation would be negative 8x plus 12y equals 52. And now what I've done is I have the same number and as the coefficient of my x term. They're both 8s. One's positive 8, one's negative 8. And that's what I want. Okay? Sometimes you might have to multiply both equations. Sometimes you might not have to multiply either equation. It's automatically set up for you. Okay? Step number 3 then says we are going to add those two equations, and we are going to cancel out, eliminate, if you will, hence the title elimination. We're going to eliminate one of the variables. So if I add these two equations together here, 4 plus 52 is 56. Equal sign just carries through. 2y plus 12y is 14y. But here's the kicker. Negative 8 plus positive 8 makes those go away. I've eliminated the x from my equation. Okay? And then what we do with that is we solve that equation. So I would divide both sides by 14 here, giving me y 4. Then what we're going to do is we are going to substitute that in. So we've got y equals 4. We're going to substitute that back into either one of our original equations. And we're going to solve for the other variable. So if I went into 8x plus 2, but now y here is 4, equals 4. That would be 8x plus 8 equals 4. 8x, we subtract 8 from both sides, equals -4. Divide both sides by 8. And then very, very lastly, we should write our answer as a point again. Okay? So we would write our answer again in point form, x, comma, y, but most importantly, we need to check it. Okay? So the first equation was 8x plus 2y equals 4. So that would be 8 times -1/2 plus 2 times 4 has to be 4. If I do that, 8 times -1/2 is -4. 2 times 4 is 8. -4 plus 8 is +4. -2 times -1/2, checking now in the other original equation, plus 3 times 4 has to be 13. -2 times -1/2 is +1. 3 times 4 is +12. 1 plus 12 is 13. Checks out. So shabam, those two lines intersect at the point -1/2. Got 4. Which we could have also graphed those lines and found that point. We could have used substitution on those two equations and got that point. Okay? So we got 3 tools now to solve a system of equations. Okay? Questions? At home, questions? Seeing none. This should be, connections should be reforming in your brain on this stuff because, again, you have seen this before. Try this one, solving using elimination. Want to eliminate x or y? X, good, right? Let's eliminate x. If I'm going to be eliminating x, which is, that's fine, we can definitely do that. If I'm going to be eliminating x, what should I multiply the first equation by? 4. Okay. So then that would give me 12x minus 24y equals 36. Agree? Okay. What would I have to multiply the second equation by 3. Okay? That would give me negative 12x plus 21y equaling negative 48. Agree? Okay. Had you chosen y, you would have had to multiply the first equation by 7 and the second equation by 6. Okay. And would have gotten, we would have ended up in the same spot. We just would have been two paths diverging in a woods, going around a lake, let's say, and then you meet up at the other side. Okay. We're going to end in the same spot. It's just we're going to take a different path. Okay. Add these two together. X's go away. I get negative 3y there, and I get negative 12 there. Dividing both sides by negative 3 gives me y equaling 4 again. Okay. Plugging 4 back into either one of my original equations. I'm going to go into the first one, 3x minus 6 times 4 has to equal 9. So that's 3x minus 24 equals 9. Add 24 to both sides. That's going to be 3x equals 33. Dividing both sides by 3 gives me x equals 1. Checking it. 3 times 11 is 33. 6 times 4 is 24. 33 minus 24 is 9, and 9 is equal to 9. Negative 4 times 11 is negative 44. 7 times 4 is 28. Negative 44 plus 28 is negative 16, which is what we needed it to be. So my answer here is 11, comma. Lovely. Try that one using elimination. Little spot check here. Just so you know, before we start, we have to adjust these equations. Align everything up. So that's what we should have adjusted. Add 3x to the top equation. Get the x's out the front. Subtract 10y from the second equation. Again, line everything up. We want everything in order. Order is a key. I would then multiply the bottom equation by negative 3. Giving negative 3x plus 30y equals negative 18. Add them together. This gives me 34y equals negative 17. Dividing by 34 gives me y equaling negative 10. If y is negative 1/2, I would plug it into the second original equation. because it's already solved for x. 10 times negative 1/2 is negative 5. 6 plus negative 5, 1. Plugging back in on my check here now. 4 times negative 1/2 has to equal 1 minus 3 times 1. 4 times negative 1/2, that's negative 2. 1 minus 3 is also negative 2. So that one checks out. 1 is 1. 6 plus 10 times negative 1/2. 10 times negative 1/2 is negative 5. Negative 5 plus 6 checks out. So my point is, or the answer is 1 comma negative 1. Okay. I remind you that if we have the two special situations, the same ones that we talked about yesterday's video, if both variables cancel out and it's a true sentence, even in elimination, that's an infinite solutions answer. If both variables cancel out and it results in a false sentence, that results, or our answer then would be no solution. In both of those cases, I strongly recommend that you go back and redo the problem just to check to make sure you didn't miss a sign or something like that and your variables canceled out by accident. Okay? And if your variables don't cancel out, then we have a point. Just like the video for you. Okay? Going forward now, you now have 2 more problems on the front side of this week's worksheet that you can do. And this time I would use elimination. So do on the front side, there's 4 homework problems. Do 2 by elimination and do 2 by substitution.